Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. So, by my reckoning, it is the 29th of March, is it? Let me just check. Let me just get my diary, my loves. Double check. Oh, I'm right. It is the 29th of March. I don't want to push us along further into the future than we need to be. So how are you all doing? Have you had a good weekend? I hope you have. I hope you're well. Now, I've had a wonderful weekend because there's some big changes going on in my life that I've realised, and it kind of nearly passed me by in terms of this is a huge change. And then I suddenly got it. So I'm going to talk about what that is. You might not think it's that big, but it kind of is. So I'll be less cryptic and I'll tell you in a minute, but I'll say good morning to everybody. Good morning, Gemma Crow. How are you doing? And she's coming in and bringing stars with her. And have you noticed how the layout has changed again on here? I've got bubbles around people's messages. How bizarre. Can you see that? Like a white bubble around when you write your message. Facebook, they're always changing things. Good morning to Nicole, or good evening, should I say. Good morning, Lucy Blackster. Good morning, Lucy Buxton. You know Lucy Buxton and Lucy Blackster, you're side by side in the comments. And I always get you two kind of modelled up a little bit because your names are so similar. But I know who you are, don't worry. Barbara Phipps, good morning. Linda de Gunst, I've had a lovely weekend. Thank you for asking if everybody else has had. Hello, Angela. Thank you so much for the stars. Thank you. Claudette is saying it's been a while. Glad to be here. Love the new layout. Well, thank you. And then there's a new layout for our messages here for our live, isn't there? I can't keep up with all the changes on Facebook. Vicky Ray, good morning to you, beautiful lady. Robin Steele, hello to you, and good evening over there in Australia. Valentini's here, good morning to you. Amanda Kavaka, good morning, darling. And good morning, Jim Crow. Andrea McSkimming, good morning. Sue Boys, good morning to you, beautiful lady. How you doing? Sandra Yaskiel's in the house as well. And Joy Cook is here as well. So, let me talk about change, because it's springtime, and spring always heralds change, doesn't it? Anne McGarry, hello from Dublin. So, Joy Cook, did I say hello to you? Sorry if I didn't. Sorry if I'm repeating myself if I did. My daughter's home. Yay! She's home for 2 weeks. And she got a car because she's going to be 21 soon, and her grandma stopped driving, and her grandma had a car that didn't have so many miles on it. It's in pristine condition, and she said to Estella, I want to give you that for your 21st birthday. So Estella has been driving me around all over the place this weekend, and this kind of supreme wave of consciousness hit me that for the last goodness knows how long, I've been driving other people around. So when I first passed my driving test at 17, my mum had 2 company cars. She had a company car that was her primary car, and then there was the old one that they never took away, and they just couldn't organise it. And they said, oh yeah, your daughter can drive it while we're waiting to collect this car. So for 6 months I drove my sister around all over the place because she never learned to drive. Then when I got married, on the day after my wedding day, my husband at the time said to me, I've got you an amazing present for our, as a wedding present. Do you want to know what it is? And I was like, yeah, what is it? And he went, I've put you on my car as an insured driver, so you can drive it now. And so I drove everywhere, and I didn't drink at the time. So when he wanted to have a drink, I used to drive us to restaurants and drive us home from places. And then, of course, being divorced and single parent for goodness knows how long, I was always driving my daughter around everywhere. When I was with Mr. Loveday, he had seizures, so he couldn't drive. He didn't have a driving license, so I drove all the time. And this weekend, for the first time, I've been driven around, and oh my goodness, I feel like the tide is turning in my life. I really do. So very exciting. I just thought I'd share that with you. I feel as though things are shifting, and it's a good feeling. And it's, people have been saying to me, are you terrified because she's not driven much? I'm like, no, not at all. I'm just like, get on with it. You need the experience. So yeah, that's my news for this weekend. Very, very exciting. So Shelley Barnes, good morning to you. Amanda Massey, good morning. The same for you, Amanda. Yes. Thank you, Andrea. It is a wonderful new beginning for my daughter and myself. Good morning, Colleen. Sue, yes, spring is so uplifting, isn't it? Sue's saying it's physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually uplifting. Bam. It's all of those, isn't it? Got blossom literally exploded into life in my garden, and I just feel so much more alive, if you know what I mean. Good morning, Elaine Sager. Happy Monday to you. Laurie's in the house. Hello, Laurie. I can actually see your comments today. And Angela's saying that 33 people were watching. Thank you for the stars, Amanda. Thank you for the stars, Andrea. Now, Megan Brown. Good morning, Megan. How are you doing? Or it's good evening where you are, actually, isn't it? I feel like... Lynn Blythen, I haven't said good morning to you, or to Mel Sykes. And Colleen is saying she feels a major shift in her life too. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? I feel like I haven't told you about the stars goal. So please forgive me if I'm repeating myself. But I set a new stars goal. So anybody who's contributing stars, thank you, because it's going towards us having an archangel power reading. So we're going to have a reading with the archangels. We're going to be looking at who's your archangel that's working with you. And we're going to do an in-depth reading. You know how much we love doing these. I think I love doing them more than you like actually having the reading. So I can't wait for us to get our target, our stars goal target. We're 12% there. So if anybody wants to send stars, I am very, very happy for you to do that. You'll see there's a little stars button at the bottom of the screen there. And it's going to be a really good reading, that one. Thank you for the stars, Laurie. Oh, bless your heart. And good morning to Helen O'Connor. And Angela's keeping abreast of how many people we've got watching. So she keeps spotting we had 33 and then we had 44. Well, you never know. We might get to 55 today. Let me know. Let me know, Angela, if we do. So shall we have some angel messages? Because we had the full moon this weekend. And this is my full moon altar. So it's a full moon in Libra. If you're in my angel circle, you will have seen this already. We had the wind chimes out, didn't we, loves? We did a lovely meditation with Archangel Jophiel, and we looked at what we wanted to release and what we want to invite into our lives. So I would encourage you to do that. Think about what you want to release and invite, because the full moon was only last night in the UK, so you've still got time to do it. So get yourself a piece of paper, actually, just like this. I have it here. You draw a line down the middle of your paper, and then the left hand side, think about what you want to release in terms of beliefs and habits, and what you want to invite in. Where would you like balance? The wind chimes, yes, the Koshi chimes were amazing, weren't they? Oh, I might even bring the Koshi chimes in for the Archangel Power reading. Wouldn't that be good? Jenny Cook, thank you for the stars, and thank you for the stars, Linda. You are amazing. Thank you, darlings. Good morning, Carol Moran. How are you doing, my love? And congratulations to Carol, because she's become a grandma. And there's something so wonderful about that. It made me all emotional thinking about it. So let us have some messages for the week. I have these two. We're going to have one card from my Oracle of Wisdom and Beauty as well. Oh, I'm glad you liked the charms, Colleen. They're so lovely, aren't they? I have them in my bedroom and I just get up in the morning and I start playing them. I need to get the earth and the water ones now. Okay, so those are our messages. So let's have a look. Let's have a look, see what else are we inviting into our lives after this full moon. This Libra full moon. Good morning, Karen. How are you doing, darling? So this card represents the first half of the week, Monday through to Wednesday, sort of beginning of Thursday. Oh, I love this. Thanks for the stars, Lynn Hardy. Now, the King of Air, when he comes in, he could represent a person, or this could be your energy. So we'll talk about your energy first of all. The energy of the King of Air is all about our ability to balance the head and the heart, and to do so in a way that has a lot of finesse, that has a lot of confidence with it, so that when he speaks, his words have so much resonance with other people that those other people cannot help but be mesmerized, involved, really enjoying hearing what's being said, because they have power and clarity. And they touch a chord in somebody, a bit like those wind chimes. They just get you in all the feels, and you think, yeah, what this person's saying and doing, it really resonates with me, and I want to follow what they have to say, what they're doing. I want to get involved. So if you're doing any kind of writing, if you're teaching, if you're imparting wisdom, knowledge, if you're setting up any kind of social media platforms, be careful of the scammers and the hackers and the imposters, but that's another story. But just know that your message, there is that crowd, that tribe waiting to hear your message. So this is no time this week for talking yourself down, for telling yourself you shouldn't do it, for having that debate with your ego about how worthy you are of passing that wisdom on to others. Just do it. That's what your angels are saying, because he's just doing it. He's just riding his horse. He's shining his light. He's holding his torch up. He's focused. He's focused on the goal. And his impartiality comes from not being detracted from those negative voices in his head. He's letting those go, and what he's inviting in is his crowd, his tribe, his audience. Because look at them, they're going, oh, we're all resonating at the same kind of frequency as you are. And we want to be part of this. We want to be part of your gang. So I think this is, I do really feel like, I can tell you from experience, it seems like every weekend I get somebody trying to steal my identity and create a page. And sometimes it gets me down. And then other times I just think, well, you know what? It is what it is. It's part of life in this modern world. And that there are some beautiful things about having online profiles and having social media pages. And then there's a dark side to it. So there's the light and shade. And both of those have to inhabit this world side by side, don't they? So we can't focus on the dark. All we can do is report them and hope for the best and just keep on going. So there will be, you probably get negative comments from people. You probably get certain things that you post that people don't like. You might teach something and people are awkward, but that's not to allow that to set you back, to hold you back in any way, because be like the King of Air is what this card is saying to you. Now, the other thing about this card is this could be a person coming into your life who you begin following, who you look up to, who is speaking very wise words. I'm laughing because Laurie's saying Angel Lady. It was the name of the person who set a page up and took my profile picture and all my posts. We'll never get stars. No, they won't. Don't give them stars. Give them to the Angel Lady. I'll never pester you for a reading, personally. Only openly on my page. So this could be somebody who has got some really wise words to impart to you, who you want to be taught by, led by, learn from, and who could be coming into your life as a teacher, a guru, a mentor. They could even be coming in as a love interest. This could signify an important air sign man coming into your life this week, for those of you who are open to love. And the air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. All right, so the second card, this represents the second half of the week. Look at all this air energy. We've just come out of a Libra full moon, which is air. So it feels like it's still sending its airiness into our lives. I love this card personally. It's one of my favourite cards in the deck. So as we get towards the end of the week, as we get towards End of Thursday, going through into the weekend. We count Friday as the weekend, especially this week because we have Good Friday coming up and Easter Sunday, so it's going to be a public holiday here in the UK. Do you get a public holiday on Friday where you are? Let me know. So this is the unicorn getting into the boat. The boat is actually on the edge of a cliff, so he's going to fly away in the boat. He's not going to sail away. And this is about really being able to get away from your troubles, being able to resolve some issues through your confidence, through your courage, being, like shining your light out in the world, riding forward. And then, when you do that, when you take hold of your power, when you say no to your ego and yes to your higher self, then that is when you can get away from people who are not good for you, not good for your soul's growth, and go towards the light, get in that boat and go towards your tribe. This is a really big message about what may be holding you back this week is your mind, is the past, are some of the naysayers who surround you, because we all have them, don't we? We have people who put us down or people who don't want us to get on in life because it threatens them. They feel as though that undermines them in some way, and they're judging us. And that could be, our own mind doing that to us as well, based on things that we've experienced in the past. And this week we haven't got to let it. We've got to be free from those doubts, from the way we talk ourselves down, from the way that we limit ourselves and say, I'm in this box and this is where I'm meant to stay. Well, things can change if you really put your energy out there, believing that what you want for yourself is possible and right for you as well, that you deserve it. Then all these good things can come, so you can get away from the people who, or the situations that hold you back, and go towards the things that are going to lift you up, which I feel as though this is such a good omen. This is what we're releasing and inviting. Oh yeah, Debbie Kershaw is getting in the boat. Well, get on in my boat and I'll get in your boat, Debbie, and we'll row your boat. We'll get away. Laurie's saying, jump in the unicorn boat and drive. Yes, I get in Estella's car and we'll drive away into the sunset. Okay, so a few people have joined me while I've been talking about those cards, and who are those people? Anja is here. Hello, Anja. Bonjour to you as well. I noticed somebody sent me some stars. Marianne sent me stars as well. Thank you, darling. Really appreciate that. Susie Stillwell's in the house. I knew I'd seen you. How are you doing, Susie? Good early morning to you. And thank you to everybody who's sending stars this morning. I appreciate that so much. All right, so the final message. Maxine's here. Hello, darling. How are you doing? The final message for the week is from my Oracle of Wisdom and Beauty. And oh, yes, look at this. It's all about moving on. Look, he's moving on. They're moving on. You're moving on. There is a road out of Dodge, and you got to take it. So look at this. This is the village of our discontent. This is the village where everything's small time, where we've dwelled. Look, it's in the valleys. It's in the low places. And the people in the village are perfectly nice. They're lovely, but they haven't seen life. They haven't seen the kind of life where you're wanting to stretch and spread your wings to. And so, this is on that road. And you don't know what's on the other side of here because you've only gone as far as here, say. But you've never gone through that archway. You've never gone beyond the castle walls. But it's waiting for you. And sorry, you just lost the connection. I will start again. It's waiting for you. What is waiting for you on the other side of there? Now, it can be scary because we don't know what's on the other side of there. But what we do know is that we need to, we've outgrown this place. It's not to say we can't come back to that, but we need to enrich that place with everything that we're going to learn when we go through that archway. So are you with me? Are you taking the high road with me? Are we getting in the boat together? Astrid and Janine. Who's with me on that road? Good morning, Sheila Hamilton. Okay, so I'm really loving the messages today. They're great, aren't they? And I think that a lot of the time we stand in our own way and we don't realise just how much, because we get hooked into this kind of black cloud of negative thinking or negative situations or people, and we need to get ourselves out of it, and we are the only ones who can do that. That's what those messages are saying to us today. Okay, so would you like a personal message now? Let me talk about which decks we're using today. So we've got the Enchanted Spell Oracle by Medieval Hedge Witch Magic. I love that. I love that name. That is actually her name. She is Medieval Hedge Witch Magic. The Priestess Moon. And what's the other cards I'm using? Oh, I've put them back in the cupboard, but basically they are my little word cards by Natalia with a little angel on the back of them. Cute, huh? Okay, so would you like number 1? Would you like number 2? Or would you like number 3? I will let you decide. Laurie is digging the canal out of the village. Coffee power. I have not had my second coffee yet, so I'm looking forward to it afterwards. I'm glad lots of... Oh, Gemma's coming as well. Andrea's coming with us on the road. Linda's coming. Yes. Carol. Amanda, let's go. Angela's on the high road. Colleen's ready. Janine's saying definitely. Oh, I can't wait till you all come on the road with us. Let's go through that little castle walls together. All right, so let's have a look at... Oh, Danielle's here as well. Good morning, Danielle. How are you doing? Right, Angela is saying you still have a card on your screen, so your screen has frozen, so you need to come out and come back in again, Angela. That's usually what happens. So if anybody's screen is frozen, come out and come back in, and then you'll be able to see the next lot of cards. So these are the messages. Thank you for the stars, Carol Bell. I really appreciate it. So we'll look at the Enchanted Spell Oracle cards first. So if you chose number 1, ooh, look at this. You've got the love card. I love this one. Now, do you know what? I'll let you into a secret. When I first got this deck of cards, do you do this? You know, when you get a new deck of cards and you're supposed to go through the deck and look at each one and hold them and imprint your energy onto the cards, and then give them a shuffle and choose your cards. So the very first card that comes out of the deck is very kind of prominent message for you, and I got this card, and this is actually the card that is the image on the front of the deck. So if you chose number 1, super powerful message for you today, all about love. So in this picture we have a rose bush, a rose tree, and that is very symbolic of love, the red rose. And then these two are having their hands bound, you know, so it's the hand fasting ceremony, which is about that connection in love, which is so beautiful. It's like we are together. And can you see we've got a sword? So we had you know, the air energy cards with the unicorns on. They are literally like the equivalent of the swords in traditional tarot. So we've got a lot of kind of truth, being truthful, honest with yourself, thinking about things, thinking about what you love. We've got the dragonfly here, and the dragonfly symbolises hope, making the most of life, new beginnings, and the almost kind of the myth, the story behind the dragonfly is it has a very short life. I think it only lives about a day, something like that, a couple of days. So it has to really make the very most of the time that it has. And so life's too short to do things that you don't love. So make the very, very most of putting everything into what you love doing, who you love being with. Really do that. The other thing about the dragonfly is it can pull away and it can see the big picture, and then it can hover over the water. It can go really close up to things. So it's about being able to drill in and out, to go into being close to something, but pulling away and seeing the bigger picture. It's that ability to kind of almost have that balance, which is so lovely. So this could also symbolize, you know, we had the King of Air showing up. So you could have a love interest showing up in your life who has strong air energy. And so if you're open to love, that could be a thing. And also, if you are, generally, if you're in a love relationship already and everything's good, or even if it's not good, you're in a committed partnership. This is about bringing the love in, injecting some love, being the love that you want to see in the relationship. You know how we can often look at our partner and go, oh, I wish they would just be more romantic. Well, you be romantic and see what happens. I'm just checking you can all see everything okay, because my messages seem to have disappeared. So I'm just going to tap hello and the messages might come back, because that seems to work in the angelic circle. All right. Now the second message for you is a word. So this is your word if you chose number 1, and it's about balance. Isn't that interesting? So this is 2 lovers in balance. And love is about balance, it's about compromise, it's about trying to find that place where you meet in the middle, where you have that connection. Oh, your comments are back, that's good. So when we love something, we don't want to overdo it, you know, and that's overindulgence. So balance is about getting that very sweet kind of balance between having just enough. It's about receiving and giving, so you can't be giving all the time, you have to be open to receiving. It's about finding that balanced place. And of course we've just had that Libra full moon, and it seems to still be infusing its magic and its energy into our lives today, this week. So enjoy that. Maxine, you're a Libra, aren't you? That was a special full moon for you. Oh, I'm glad you're still here. The comments are back. Okay, so I hope that resonated with you. And your message, if you chose number 2, is prosperity. Oh, we've had love. Now we've got prosperity. Isn't that lovely? And look at her. She's like bending over backwards to allow prosperity into her life. She's dancing. This is I think this is pomegranates. Yes, it is. It's pomegranates. Look at that. And pomegranates. They look like jewels, don't they? You know, when you cut into a pomegranate, it's like treasure. They look like rubies. I love a glass of Prosecco with a few pomegranate seeds in it. It's like there's nothing better. And this is saying, you know, the pomegranate may be there in front of you and it looks a very unassuming fruit, doesn't it? It's quite a bland looking object, but when you cut it in half, all of the treasure is there. And this is about to pour into your life. Be open to prosperity. Be open to all of the good things that want to come in, because you deserve them. You're worthy of them. Bend over backwards to receive them. Don't push them away because you think that you're less than. Sorry to hear that you were emotional yesterday, Maxine. I know, you know, when it's your own full moon, it can get you like that, can't it? So lots of love to you, darling. And your word this week is inspiration. Inspiration. So maybe you could have some pomegranate, you know, maybe that might bring you a bit of inspiration. I think also that the word inspiration combined with prosperity, what it's saying to me is there's maybe something that looks pretty kind of unappealing, dull. It's maybe been offered to you or is there in front of you under your nose. And you're going to have to cut into it. You're going to have to really push to find the prosperity and the inspiration within it. So you might be kind of walking around with your blinkers on and thinking, oh, there's no way of me getting extra money. And it's right under your nose. So Priestess of Inspiration wants to inspire you to show you that those jewels are there, but they're underneath the very kind of uninspiring looking skin of the pomegranate. So just like we have to cut into the fruit to get that treasure, you might have to do a little bit of digging, cutting in, being inspired by something or someone to move yourself forward. Interesting, isn't it? So let's look at number 3. And your message, if you chose number 3, is opulence. Oh, they're not all really super positive cards, these, you know, in this deck. There are some, you know, retreat and, you know, solitariness and all of that kind of stuff. But we seem to have all the really yummy stuff coming out today. And she's standing on her head, enjoying opulent surroundings. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So she is saying opulentia. That's what she's enjoying. And this is the sacral chakra here. And so this is about joyfulness. This is about being deserving of having good things into your life, enjoying opulence, because we can have things and then we can have luxurious things, we can have opulent things. So that's the dream, that's like the goal, isn't it? It's almost like, so I'm looking at patio furniture at the moment. And then there is your kind of basic patio furniture, isn't there? The functional stuff. And then there's the medium kind of range stuff where it's like, yeah, that's nice. That looks nicer than the very basic cheap stuff. And then there's the opulent stuff. There's the stuff that's got the fire pit table with the glass in it. There's the sectional corner sofa thing. There's the big day bed, you know. It's all of that. It's like, what do I deserve? What do I really want? And I'm telling myself it's the basic stuff's okay and I'll just accept that and I'll be grateful. And gratitude's important, yes. But, you know, opulence wants to enter. So think about today, this week actually, all of this week, about what do you want that's opulent? What do you want that's going to push the envelope a little bit more? Well, you're not just going to take the basics, you want luxury. As luxury wants you. And who's gonna say no to that? We are worthy. So your word is reflection. And I feel as though that fits so perfectly with what I just talked about there. Of, you know, when you're thinking about, it's like if you have a business and you think, I need to earn X amount of money, but what is the amount of money that's going to push you into opulence? Reflect on that, dream, envisage it, do your mood boards, do your vision boarding and your journaling and your wish making and what is it? Cosmic shopping lists. Because when you get into that mindset, reflecting on what do you really want? You say, I need a new table and chairs for my garden, or well, this is what I really want. Come on, universe, help me get what I really want. I don't want to buy twice. I don't want to be impacting the planet by having something and then having to buy another one. I want the best. And you deserve the best. So reflect on how you deserve the best, why you deserve the best, and what is it that you're doing in your own mind to maybe block that, because perhaps you're feeling as though, this is bringing us back to this chap, isn't it? Where sometimes we have that kind of debate with ourselves about, am I worthy of this? Why have I got this? Why am I aiming for that? Who would want to hear what I've got to say? Who would want to buy what I've got to sell? Well, plenty of people. You know, this is good. We're going to be talking about love here as well, you know, where we settle for things. Or we settle for not having anybody in our lives. And, you know, if you really want the best, believe that that person is out there and that you're worthy of that. And they're going to come and get you, because you'll be vibrating at their frequency when you start believing. So those are our messages today. How sweet and lovely are those? And thank you so much for the stars. Let me see. I've had stars from Sue Boys. Thank you, darling. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much for your generosity, Carol Moran. And congratulations again. And yes, her outfit's lovely on that picture. I love the stripy tights. Do you know when Estella was a little girl, I used to put stripy tights on her with these little dresses and skirts and things. I love a good stripy tights, me. Hi, Astrid and Francis. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And I hope that you have a really lovely week. I hope that you enjoy Easter, because it's going to be Easter this weekend. If you celebrate Easter, then have a wonderful time. If you don't celebrate Easter, then, you know, just enjoy the weekend and all of the lovely springiness or autumnness wherever you are in the world. And take care, my love. Stay safe and well and blessed. And thank you so much for being here and all your generosity always.